Next up at UFC Vegas 65, we have a Zhalgas Zhumagulov taking on Charles Energy Johnson. Zhalgas Zhumagulov is 14-7 overall, 1-4 in his last 5. He is coming off 2 losses in a row. Charles Johnson, 11-3 overall, 4-1 in his last 5. He's coming off that insanely one-sided loss in his UFC debut to Muhammad Makayev, where he gave up 12 takedowns. And you may say, well, Charles Johnson got taken down 12 times in his last fight. Zhalgas Zhumagulov is a grinding wrestler. He's going to go ahead and get his takedowns. And he will. Zhalgas will get some takedowns. He's not going to win this fight, though. Charles Johnson is going to win this fight. He'll get taken down. He'll come back up because while he gave up 12 to Muhammad Makayev, he defended 14. And he stayed tough. He kept coming. Like, it was very one-sided, but he didn't break in that fight. He's got a huge personality, mostly a striker, solid boxing, solid kicks, decent power, never stops coming forward, great cardio. I think Charles Johnson absolutely gets this done. I think he's a solid price point at $8,700. But there is a world where Zhalgas is just nonstop shooting takedowns similar to Muhammad Makayev. How could you make that face? You don't think Charles Johnson's going to get taken down in this fight?
I would be very surprised if he gets taken down in this fight, yeah.
That's crazy. I think he gets taken down at least once or twice. I don't think it matters, but I think he gets taken down. I'll bet you. I've been killing you in these one-on-one bets. Killing you.
Well, I mean, that's just stupid. I'm not going to take that bet. I mean, he just trip and fall, and then all of a sudden I'm just out money, so I'm not going to take that bet. But I will say that I think that Charles Johnson, this line, the reason why this line is 155 is because of the Makayev fight. And as Angelo mentioned, people are trying to do MMA math. Oh, this guy took him down. This guy likes to wrestle, so he can probably take him down. So the line is, I think, and I'm going to look stupid on this, I think this minus 155 Charles Johnson line is the best value on this card. I think he absolutely smokes Zhalgas. In that Makayev fight, he was very, very defensive. He had to be defensive the entire time. Even when he was taken down, I can't do anything offensively because I have to worry about the submissions. This, I worry about the arms, this. Get back to his feet. The guy's immediately on him again. As Angel mentioned, there is maybe a world where Zhalgas doesn't take him down, but is cage control, just kind of holding him against the cage. But I think Charles is way, way too good. And you saw that against Makayev to be able to get out of positions, and he's able to actually, have some offense in this fight because Zhalgas is not going to be the Makayev relentless. And Zhalgas will throw strikes. Makayev will, dance around a little bit, mostly to get to the wrestling. Zhalgas will throw like fucking haymakers. And Charles Johnson is going to be there with the slick counters, be right there, boom, boom. And we've seen Zhalgas get dropped and finished before. So I am very, 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 very high on Charles Johnson in this fight. I'm loaded up on him. I'm going to look for even more stuff, maybe inside the distance, maybe sprinkle some points there to hedge a little bit. But I'm willing to look stupid on it. I think he absolutely dominates this fight. And they picked this fight for a reason for him.
They did pick this fight for a reason for him. They're expecting him to get the win. I do wish they'd give him a striker, though. This poor guy, 2 wrestlers in a row. Because Zhalgas is pretty relentless with the wrestling. Yeah, as you mentioned, the striking is there just to set up the wrestling.
But his wrestling is like, Makayev is like super aggressive. Even if he gets a body lock, then he's dropping to a single. He's going for trips. He's just... Zhalgas is more of like a one-dimensional push up against the cage. Okay, yes. I have you on the cage. Now let me try to work for a single. It's kind of more slow motion where Johnson's just going to be like, get his hands out, break the hand lock, get out of there and be able to do what he needs to do.
I agree. I think Charles Johnson wins. I do think it's good value at minus 155. No bet there, but I might end up placing one because, he should win, and that is good value. It is very good value for a guy who's he has a ton of experience in LFA. He's a very good fighter, literally the former LFA champion, which is a decent promotion. So, yes, you in the back.
And I'll give away a premium bet. I know Angelo doesn't like to do this, but I'm willing to look stupid about. Yeah, I'll be willing to look stupid about this. The best bet and the best value on this card, in my mind, I could be wrong. That's how I'm playing it. You don't have to tail it. I would, don't do your own research. Is Charles Johnson minus 3.5 at plus 150. I think he should be a 3-1 favorite. I'm getting plus 150 at a minus 3.5. I think he can easily win. If it goes to a decision, win all 3 rounds, defending takedowns, win the striking. But if he gets a finish, you get your bet as well. So plus 150 for minus 3.5 Charles Johnson. I absolutely love that bet.
Yeah, and if you guys don't know that -3.5, basically Charles Johnson can win by finish, or if he wins 30-27 on at least 2 scorecards, and then he can do a 29-28 and a third scorecard, he wins. The bet hits. So you're basically selling around. You're getting much better odds. He goes from minus to plus money. So if you think it's a dominant fight, then that's a good way to get yourself some value without having to pick the outcome. You don't have to say Charles Johnson by decision, Charles Johnson by KO. You just know whatever it is, it's going to be dominant, and he's not going to give up an entire round on all the judges' scorecards. Then it's a great way to find some value. Our only partner that offers that, and the only sports book in general that offers anything that resembles that, is BetOnline. So if you go to weonpicks.com/bets, sign up with BetOnline through our link, make a deposit. We will send you $50 as a thank you.
And the reason the odds are the way they are is because they assume that Zhalgas is going to come in and steal around with the wrestling, which I don't think he can. So that's why you get the value on that.
Yeah, I agree. Listen, I think Zhalgas is going to get some takedowns. I don't think it's going to be a whole round's worth of scoring, though. I think he'll get a takedown, and Charles Johnson will pop right back up. He's coming off 2 camps in a row where he was training for a wrestler. So I think he's good there. $7,500 for Zhalgas. I don't think he's worth it, despite being a wrestler, and that's the best way to get points in DraftKings is through wrestlers. I don't think he's worth it. $8,700 for Charles Johnson is probably a good value. I don't necessarily know if he'll get a stoppage, but he could, and I think there's some good value there. You think he gets a stoppage? You like him at $8,700?
Yeah, he's gonna be mine for sure. Best value on the card.
Yeah, and I'm not gonna touch the monkey knife fight strike line because 45 is assuming a decent amount of control time, because he does have those wild winging punches that don't necessarily land. So he's going to need to get some control time for that 45 to matter.